Greetings. Here I read out excerpts from books, movie scenes, poems, etc. that are living in my mind rent-free, hence the name of this channel. Afterwards, I will add some brief comments regarding the excerpt and why I chose it. Today's excerpt is from the Gulag Archipelago, Volume 1. Mine was probably the easiest imaginable kind of arrest. It did not tear me from the embrace of kith or kin, nor wrench me from a deeply cherished home life. The brigade commander called me to his headquarters and asked me for my pistol, when, suddenly, two counterintelligence officers stepped forward hurriedly, crossed the room in a few quick bounds, and they shouted theatrically, "You are under arrest." Burning and prickling from head to toe, all I could exclaim was, "Me? What for?" And even though there is usually no answer to this question, surprisingly I received one. This is worth recalling because it is so contrary to our usual custom. Hardly had the Smersh men finished plucking me and taken my notes on political subjects along with my map case, then I heard myself firmly addressed. Across the sheer gap separating me from those left behind, the gap created by the heavy falling word arrest, across that quarantine line not even a sound dared penetrate, came the unthinkable magic words of the brigade commander. "Solzhenitsyn, come back here." I had never known him very well. He had never condescended to run-of-the-mill conversations with me. To me, his face had always conveyed an order, a command, Rat. But right now it was illuminated in a thoughtful way. Was it from shame for his own involuntary part in this dirty business? Was it from an impulse to rise above the pitiful subordination of a whole lifetime? 10 days before, I had led my own reconnaissance battery, almost intact, out of the fire pocket in which the 12 heavy guns of his artillery battalion had been left, and now he had to renounce me because of a piece of paper with a seal on it? "You have," he asked weightily, "a friend on the first Ukrainian front?" "It's forbidden. You have no right," the captain and major of counterintelligence shouted at the colonel. But I had already understood. I knew instantly I had been arrested because of my correspondence with a school friend, and understood from what direction to expect danger. Zakhar Georgievich Travkin could have stopped right there. But no. Continuing his attempt to expunge his part in this and to stand erect before his own conscience, he rose from behind his desk and reached across the quarantine line that separated us and gave me his hand. And pressing my hand, while his whole suite stood there in horror, showing that warmth that may appear in a habitually severe face, he said fearlessly and precisely, "I wish you happiness, Captain." Not only was I no longer a captain, I had been exposed as an enemy of the people, for among us every person is completely exposed from the moment of arrest, and he had wished happiness to an enemy. Here's what is most surprising of all. One can be a human being despite everything. Nothing happened to Travkin. Not long ago we met again cordially, and I really got to know him for the first time. He is a retired general and an inspector of the Hunters Alliance. End of excerpt. Now, so for those who don't know, this book is about the Soviet concentration camp system. It's written by a man named Alexander Solzhenitsyn, who was arrested and put into said Gulag system, as the excerpt may have made clear. And this excerpt it's come to my mind from time to time, and if you ask me, of what I have read thus far of the Gulag Archipelago, what is to me the most valuable portion thus far, and I haven't read that much of it, this would be it. With that being said, I want to make it clear that while This excerpt paints a picture of an ideal to which every human being should strive. I'm not deluded into thinking that I've ever had the courage to strive for this ideal. Far from it. In fact, if I had to pick a role for, if I had to pick a portion from this which would most suit myself and my actions as they have been, it would probably be this portion. In the corner, the suite of staff officers crowded closer to each other in fright, as if they feared to share the brigade commander's unbelievable rashness. The political officers among them already preparing to present materials against him. So yes, while I'm fully conscious of the fact that I would definitely be among the suite of staff officers terrified in the corner, and I would very possibly be among the political officers preparing to snitch on the admirable ideal that stood before me, were I in this situation. But with that being said, that I am also fully conscious that the actions of Zakhar Georgievich Travkin are those of a proper human being. Now, some further comments. I have paraphrased portions of this. I've jumped around in the excerpt randomly. I've skipped paragraphs here and there just to make it flow better and to make this shorter. And I have completely butchered Zakhar Georgievich Travkin's name because I do not speak Russian. And I am shivering right now, partially from nervousness and partially because it is bloody cold. But yeah, that is the excerpt. I will have the relevant excerpt in full in the description along with the book. Thank you for listening. Fare thee well.